a joyful day. We are so proud to show off this incredible school that was named after an incredible person. So let's just start right off by giving a round of applause for Mr. Isaac. So I want to start off, we have a great opening performance. We have a couple of numbers from our ballet folklore group, Hurricane, and this is under the direction of Sandra Ortiz. Thank you for not laughing too hard when I said that. Okay, welcome Ballet Folklorico. Come on out. Let's give them a round of applause. It's okay, the school is still under warranty. So these things happen, and it's an important time for us to make sure that our taxpayers get their full value for their dollar. So just know that this is just building the anticipation, and this is going to be a wonderful opportunity to celebrate all the hard work that these kids have done to put in to be here today. So let's just give them a minute or two, and we'll get started. Okay, so while we are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and I want to start some of our introductions off before we get started, and we will make sure we have a full performance. So first of all, I want to introduce our Board of Education. So our board president is Dr. Tweed Downs. Our board clerk is Lulu Geddes. Next to him, we have board member Stephanie Williams-Rogers. We have board member Scott Dudell. then on behalf of the Board of Education who I introduced, I am so excited to welcome you here tonight. I want to do some introductions. I want to introduce some former board members that are here. I'm going to start with this one, Mr. Ike Montañez. Mr. Carlos Sanabria. Where'd you go, Carlos? I saw you come in. Kelly Arsafine. I didn't see Kelly. Did she sneak in? Okay, well thank you, Kelly, wherever you are. Johnny Rodriguez. Light, there you go, Light. Dr. Paul Gray. Dr. Paul. Shirley Nunn. Shirley. I hope you join me in thanking these people for their leadership. Their perseverance has brought so many opportunities to our students throughout the years. And these beautiful schools that we have that offer so much for them is because of their leadership and perseverance. So let's give them one more round of applause. I also want to introduce Dr. Vic Thornhill, who will be taking a board position starting in December. So, this is one of the most important people that I'm going to introduce today, Jason Gomes. Where are you? Jason, I see you right there. Jason is our day custodian. I also want to thank Uma Steinhauer, along with Jody and Giovanna in the front office. Thank Dave Ruth and Bob Brown for doing a lot of things there in our maintenance and facilities department for getting ready. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, Bob. We have some city officials here I want to acknowledge. We have former Mayor Barbara Geis. We have one of our current council members, Tanisha Pearson. Former council members, Johnny Rodriguez again. Also saw Anna Gutierrez. Anna. I also want to introduce former city manager John Elam. John. And then also, you may not have met her before. This is our brand new Liberty Superintendent, Denise Rugani. Denise is here. It out. It's not because I'm boring. It's because she's going to a board meeting tonight. Let's see. We also have some of our namesakes of our schools that you may have heard. Mary Casey Black of Mary Casey Black. Dr. Doug Adams of Adams Middle School. Dr. Paul Gray of Gray Elementary. And Ron Nunn Elementary. Citizens Oversight Committee that because of Measure B, which is the only way that we can have this beautiful school, so I want to start off by thanking the voters of Brentwood for supporting Measure B, and I also want to thank Anitra Simpson, who's here on their behalf today. So where's Anitra? Anitra, back there. We also have, let's see, our Contra Costa County Office of Education board member Annette Lewis is here. Annette. Community college board members, Fernando Sandoval is here. All right. Also want to introduce our construction management team. It takes a lot of people to put together a school, as you can see. I want to thank the construction management team, and then I want to introduce one person in particular. So first of all, I want to introduce from Cummings, John Navarro, Ramon Parquioa, Judy Navarro, Primo Facchini, and Soyla Tolliver, and John Caputo. If you would all stand up, please. Not here tonight, but John Navarro was the construction management lead. And I just want to mention him because he's a part of another special group in this audience, which is former Ike Montañez's students. So think about how beautiful Ike's life has been. The construction manager of the project of his school was one of his 4th grade students. So, how cool is that? Brought him off to Disneyland, so he's there where he likes to be. But I do want to see, if you go out and around and you see like an 89-degree angle where there should be a 90-degree angle, you can blame, I mean, John's accountable, but it's really Ike's fault. So I wanted to say that. I also wanted to thank our friends, our contractor Overa, so Mike Conrad, Ken Brumbaugh, Rick Moore, and Dylan Bedell. Would you please stand up? Team from Multi-Studio, Lauren Moss, Annette Studio, and Zolmar Turgan. Are you guys here? All right. We also have a couple of CBOs, so I want to thank, first of all, our current CBO, Diane Deschler, who's and then Robin Schmidt. Where's Robin? Robin is our retired and despite being retired, he came in from Oregon to make sure that we crossed the finish line. So thank you, Robin, for all your perseverance in this project. Our inspectors, Greg Burchett and Brian Glasspool, are they here? Greg? There's Greg in the back. Thank you, Greg. 21 years ago, when Greg and I we were opening Pioneer Elementary together. Greg was in the VP's office in Pioneer helping me out, and he's still here making sure that we have high-quality schools and making sure that everybody does what they need to do. So thank you, Greg. We really appreciate it. Somebody that will hate that I introduced her, Nicole Clevin, is the superintendent's assistant. Thank you. That went on here today that she didn't have a part in, so thank you, Nicole, for all your diligence for that. And then, okay, this is going to be the most fun. I want to introduce an incredible staff to you. So if you are part of the staff from Isaac Montañez Elementary, please stand up and raise your hands if you're already standing. Working day and night. They are very concerned that you will think their classrooms are messy when you go through. And I kept reminding them this is a real school that's operating. They are doing an amazing job and they are very excited. It's 2 days more until October break. I also want to introduce our Parents Club members from Isaac Montañez. Parents Club members, please raise your hands. Here for a great thing, so thank you so much. Students of Isaac Montañez Elementary, please stand up and wave. There. Thank you, students. It's so exciting to have you as the very first class of this great school. If you are a BUSD staff member that I didn't introduce already, please stand up.
That's you.
All right? If you are a former Redwood School District employee who is here, please stand up. We have lots of our wonderful retirees here. If you are a former student of Isaac R. Montañez, either when you was your teacher or your principal, please stand up. I can tell a couple people as we talked to Ike throughout the time, he was so excited to have his family coming. He was even more excited to have so many of his former students coming. He's really excited to be able to share this day with you, and this is a very special thing. I also want to introduce one person in particular, a former student, Shelly Person. Where are you, Shelly? Shelly, stand up. So Shelly, former student, you may have seen this beautiful artwork outside. Shelly did that and commissioned. Shelly is a professional artist, and she commissioned that just for the school. And so take a look at it when you go outside. Thank you, Shelly, for it. We have some amazing speakers today that are going to give you a lot of insights into Isaac R. Montañez and why this day is so special. Like board meetings, school board meetings, the best dedication ceremonies start and end on the same day. And so I want to say that up front because when you have somebody who's had the profound impact that Isaac's had, we could say so much and thank so many people, and we're not going to be able to tell everything and thank everybody, and so we hope that you'll understand, but we have so much to celebrate. I want to provide a brief summary before I let these distinguished speakers tell a little bit more about the life that Isaac has led and the impact that he has had. Isaac Montañez was born in Tempe, Arizona in 1936. His father was a farm worker, and Isaac also worked in the fields as a young man. Almost everybody knows Ike. To know Ike is to know that not only is the incredible positive impact he has had on our community, but also what a gracious and kind human being he is. I am honored to work in a school district that celebrates him as an example for others. And so, with that, I'm going to introduce our first speaker. So thank you. Mr. Montañez wants to make sure that there are plenty of seats over here. So please come in and sit. There's plenty of space. So our past Brentwood Union School District Superintendent, and as I said before, the namesake of Adams Middle School, Dr. J. Douglas Adams.
Thank you, Dana, for those kind words. I'm going to just quickly go off script here just for a minute. When we moved to Brentwood in 1954, our next door neighbor is here tonight, Helen Torres. And a special shout out to the corner up there. Every day I pick up our two grandchildren at Brentwood Elementary and I see them going to bus duty up there in the corner. Thank you, Brentwood Elementary. As most of you know, I attended school here, Brentwood Elementary, in the Hill and Liberty. What many of you may not know is that my mom was a longtime teacher in this district, and she was a colleague of Mike's. They worked together, they were friends, and it is through her that I first knew Ike. I officially began working with him in 1991 when I arrived back here as superintendent of schools. One of the first things I decided to do was go and talk to people about the community. I talked to Mike about this wonderful community and what he felt needed to be done to reach the children, especially those children that were trying to acquire English as a second language. I had an advantage going into that meeting with Ike because I grew up in this community. I knew him and I knew others not only as a student, but as someone, a son of a teacher. Brentwood, as you all know, and Mr. Nunn knows better than most people in this room, was a very small agricultural community back then. Most of us, including me, lived outside the community and came in. The schools were the hub of the community in those days. It was not only a place to see your children and how they were doing in schools and attend their activities, it was a place to reacquaint yourself with neighbors, to meet new neighbors, and to find out what was going on in Brentwood. In those days, most of the staff, like I, lived in this community. They knew them as not only teachers and as staff members, as cafeteria workers, and as bus drivers, but they knew them as individuals who cared deeply about children, but also cared deeply about the families that lived here in Brentwood. In those days, there were very few city or other agencies to help children that were struggling, especially those who were trying to acquire English as a second language or those families that were struggling. The synergy that developed in Brentwood in those days was led, first of all, by the Brentwood School District. Add in your service clubs such as your Rotary, your Lions, your Optimists, and your Brentwood Women's Club, the church groups, businesses, and things like that. They looked to the school district to determine what families needed help, but also more importantly, guidance in terms of what needed to be done. Who was going to lead that effort? Who was going to provide them with the knowledge of family that was needed during those times? That was easy. It was Ike. Ike knew as what he expected to know, as he knew to know the community. There were other people that were there, and some of their descendants and others are here tonight. Bill Bristow. There was Paul Craig. Rose Pierce. One of my favorite people, Alice Ramirez. There the Ramirez right there. My mom, and of course there was Ike. Ike was the guiding force behind that effort. He was connected to those families in need, and he was connected to the community resources of local businesses that could provide support for that effort. The staff and the community responded because they trusted this man. And they knew that he understood the needs of families, and he worked tirelessly to encourage others to join with him and help out. As my mother used to say about him, he always asked others what was needed, and then did his best to get it done. She went on to say that he spoke from the heart, and he was always there for children and their families. Finally, she said to me, as I was beginning my career as a teacher, that if I wanted some help helping children, I should go see Ike. And that's what I did in 1991 when I came back from camp. In that first conversation, so typical Ike. He didn't use the word I once. He didn't talk about himself. He talked about his colleagues. He talked about organizations in town. He talked about the staff. He talked about everyone but him. But you know what? I knew better. I knew better. I knew that it was his empathy for people and his relationships with people that was making a difference, especially with those students who were learning English as a second language and for those families that were struggling. I was thrilled when he became a member of our Board of Education. At that time, the state finally woke up and said, we got to help kids. It's about time. And so they sent us some money. Ike was there on the ground floor along with Bill and George Iveretta. They began the bilingual program, but there were needed new programs to get off the ground. The board sat there and said, what are we going to do with this money? What's best for the kids of Brentwood? We didn't have to hire any consultants. We had Ike on our school board. He knew those programs. He knew what was best for Brentwood, and we relied on him to implement those programs. We benefited directly from his board leadership, and I thank you, Ike, for your service on the board. I would like to personally thank you too, Ike. I decided in part to become a teacher because I saw firsthand how you helped students and community families who were struggling. I saw firsthand how you worked with and mobilized the community in that effort. I saw firsthand how you helped lead the school district as a teacher, as a principal, and as a school board member. You helped me to understand that if you treat people with understanding and respect, that you can make a difference in the lives of others. Congratulations, and thank you for all you have done for the children and families of Brentwood. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adams. Our next speaker was the founding principal of Ron Nunn Elementary School and longtime former assistant superintendent, and also the namesake of Mary Casey Black Elementary School. Mary Casey Black.
Speaking after this, call him in. We need to stop our game. Good evening. I cannot think of a person more deserving to have the honor of a school named after him as Ike Montañez. Just by being the person he is, we all know that Ike makes a difference. As a teacher, an administrator, a board member, or as a family man, a friend, a neighbor, or a dedicated community worker, a volunteer, Ike's open heart and his compassion has positive, lasting impact on the lives of all he touches. When I returned to Brentwood in 1973, I was hired as the teacher of a designated class of a bilingual cluster class at Brentwood Elementary. Now, Ike was teaching at Aaron. He was also leading the Los Amigos program for the district. And because Bill Bristow always made sure that we had multiple hats to wear, he was also principal of the school. The Los Amigos program was an amazing program that paired English and Spanish-speaking students who not only learned from one another in the classroom, but also shared time with each other's families in their home and learned firsthand how to appreciate a culture that was different from their own through a personal connection. The fact that many of these students remain lifetime friends today gives testimony to the impact that Ike's vision of mutual respect based on a personal connection has made in their lives. In Ike's classroom, as a new teacher, I was in awe. He seamlessly wove instruction through Spanish and English as he simultaneously built capacity and mutual respects of speakers of both languages. Always with heart, always with a smile, many times a gentle chuckle, and always conveying the message, I believe in you. My Brentwood School students were included in many of the family nights of the Los Amigos program. This is great food, lots of performances, and here too, I was inspired by Ike as he effortlessly demonstrated the critical personal connection, how critical the personal connection is to building community, not only in the classroom, but way beyond those walls and reaching the families throughout the community. But the most lasting thing I learned from the privilege of working with Ike Montañez was to always keep the child at the center of everything we do. Throughout his long career, I completed that whole circle from teacher to program director to principal to teacher. And in his last years of his career, he reconnected directly with students when he created a program for English learners designed to accelerate their content learning through their primary language as they were simultaneously learning those English language skills. I again was inspired as I watched these students at Brentwood Elementary School. Yeah. Watch them flourish, become confident learners, and to celebrate the achievement of academic bilingualism. You have shown us the way to have a positive impact on the lives of children, how to engage families in their child's education, and how to treat others with respect and compassion. But on a personal note, I want you to know that nothing makes the troubles of the world fade more quickly than hearing, ah, mija! Thank you for all you've given to all of us. Congratulations. May all that you have modeled throughout your life become part of the fabric of Isaac Montañez Elementary School, so that your legacy will continue to impact lives.
Thank you so much, Mary. Our next speaker, former BUSD board member, former city council member, and founder of One Day at a Time, Mr. Johnny Rodriguez.
Jane, I need the stool too. I'll be honest, I sat and I put some notes together and
thinking about a presentation, but when it comes to this man, it's very difficult because they only gave me 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. And we can speak. Man, what a beautiful night for this man. I'll be honest, I've been blessed and honored to be in his presence for many years, in many different capacities. There's a lot of people in here, and one of the biggest things I learned from Mike is he's one of the best people to create bridges. He's one of the best people to bring people together regardless of the spectrum of the community that you come from. And this is one of the things that Ike's been not only to do in the community, but he's doing it here. I see people in this audience that I've known since I was a little kid. When my mom was working for United Council for Spanish speaking, when my mom worked in the fields, when we grew up, our parents grew up in BG camp, the old BG camp. That's the beauty of Ike. The beauty of Ike is this, is that he's able to build relations that are not only sustainable, but bring people together to create change and to learn from other people's perspectives. In our community, which is the northeast of Brentwood, which back in the day, everybody knew it as the Village Drive community, Ike is looked at as a pillar, as an example. He's planted so many seeds and young people, and I'm one of those seeds. Ike was my principal. And I guess so too, and I was a knucklehead, right? And years later, look where I'm at. I'm able to speak about a man that at one time, we didn't see people that looked like Ike in those positions. But not only that, later in life, I'm standing in Village Drive, I'm at the gas station. Ike's volunteering this time, I don't know, but Ike will walk more probably than everybody here. Ike walks a lot. But Ike was going to the Village Drive leaving, and I was putting gas, and I had a vision of building a program called One Day at a Time. And there's people out there like Paul Ramirez and others that I would speak about this vision, but I didn't have the support. And I remember Ike was walking by, and I said, Mr. Montañez, the man that has planted many seeds, that I need him to help plant my seed. I want him to be part of my life and my journey. And I don't know how many years it's been since 1995. Ike Montañez has been part of my life in an aspect that he's helped me to grow. But not only as an executive director or building an organization, but as a father, as a husband, how he loves his wife, how he loves his people. But at the same time, as he has the heart to give. A lot of us have forgotten that. We have titles, we have positions, we talk about the work. This man doesn't need a title, he does the work. He's not only volunteered at the Village Drive and One Day at a Time, but he's done so much more. So in saying that, there's not a Johnny Rodriguez without people like Ike Montañez. I went through all the schools here. I'll be honest with you, I was that kid. You want to call it at risk. But I grew because I had good role models, good examples, and Ike Montañez was a huge part of that. I don't know what to call him, a father, a mentor. I'll be honest with you, it was the biggest honor to be able to do this because I don't only speak for myself, but I speak for all those homeboys that grew up in the Village Drive, all those homegirls that grew up in the Village Drive, all those kids that come from farm working communities. I speak for all of them because to have this gentleman on this side of the town and have a name after him is one of the greatest honors that could have happened in this community. So,
break I saw the other day, for those, how many of you remember the movie Back to the Future? Okay. I know this seems like a straight talk. So the DeLorean, right, went back into 1955. The same distance right now, if we went back today, would be 1995. So that's how far the DeLorean went back. Okay. All right. So going forward, I'd like to introduce the founding principal of Isaac R. Montañez Elementary, Dr. Danielle Dobbin.
Good evening. Okay, much better. Good evening. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to Montañez Elementary School. To our esteemed guests, school board members, teachers, families, and community members, thank you for being here today and for the crucial role that you played in making this day possible. This school stands as a testament of our collective commitment, to providing the very best for our children. While this building may seem like just bricks and mortar from the outside, within these walls, we are shaping the future. This is where our youngest learners will take their first steps in their educational journeys, where friendships will blossom, and where every child will be nourished to reach their full potential. Our vision for Montañez Elementary School is simple: to create an environment where every student feels valued, safe, and supported. We aim to cultivate not only bright minds, but also kind hearts, strong character, and a sense of responsibility to one another and the world around us. I met Ike a year ago, and I quickly learned that at the core of this remarkable man is his deep love and devotion to his family and community. His sense of community was clear during a lunch date that we shared at a local restaurant. It felt like I was dining with a celebrity. Not only did he seem to know almost everyone there, despite it being his first visit to this new restaurant, but those he didn't recognize, recognized him. I share this story because it reflects what Ike has built in countless schools throughout Brentwood and the broader community: a welcoming, inclusive, and kind environment. The same spirit is what we strive to create at Montañez Elementary School. This dedication is not just about the physical space, but about the community and sense of belonging we are building here. One way we fostered this sense of community was by welcoming families into the school the day before school. 4th and 5th grade students, volunteers led family tours to ease students' first day of school jitters. We believe it's essential that not only students, but all members of our community feel comfortable and welcome. At the conclusion of this ceremony, if you would like a tour of our campus, our 4th and 5th grade students will be in the lobby and are eager and very proud to show you around. We hope that you feel the warmth and the love that defines Montañez.
Actually, my first paid job outside of my parents' house was helping my grandfather do his yard work. And I know he didn't actually need my help, but he wanted to spend time with me and invest in me, just like he spent time and invested in so many people throughout our community throughout the years. And I'm here to say that he's a man of integrity, and his private life matches his public one. His public life is just a reflection of his private life, marked with consistency, honor, and rooted in a deep sense of gratitude, responsibility, and most of all, faith. And all the reasons why so many people in our community noticed him and wanted to recognize him by naming a school after him absolutely hold true in his private life. My grandfather didn't seek the spotlight or accolades. Instead, he sought ways to lift up others and be of service, and to make the world just a little bit better each and every day. His generosity wasn't measured in material things, well, not just material things, but also in time and energy that he gave to those who needed it most. He understood that true success lies in how we help others to grow. And so my hope and prayer for this school that bears his name, and my challenge for the amazing faculty and staff, is that you would carry forward the qualities that my grandfather has demonstrated throughout his life. Embody the spirit of service that he lives out daily. Show kindness, humility, and compassion in every interaction with your students and with each other. Be generous, not just with your resources, but also with your time, with your encouragement, and with your hearts. Let this school be a beacon of light, not just for education, but for fostering the qualities that my grandfather exemplified. Let this school be a place where students learn not just facts and figures, but also the power of service, of love, and of community. Thank you.
job. All right, for the formal dedication, I'd like to welcome our board president, Dr. Sweetdow Jensen.
As the president of the Brentwood Union School District Board of Education, I'm very excited to formally dedicate this incredible elementary school to Isaac R. Montañez. Our Board of Education is committed to providing an exceptional educational environment where every student has the opportunity to learn and thrive in a beautiful facility. Moreover, we are thankful to the voters for approving Measure B to build Brentwood's newest elementary school. This is dedicated to Isaac R. Montañez for your many years of service to the Brentwood Union School District as an employee and board member. Dedicated on September 25, 2024. On behalf of the entire board, we are so excited to celebrate this wonderful honor with you. Congratulations, Isaac R. Montañez.
Ladies and gentlemen, Isaac R.
Can you hear that? Wow. You know what? I'm almost tempted to do what my Uncle Benny Rodriguez did at the Citizen of the Year banquet. Those that were there might remember. He got up on the stage there and he said, I wanted to say all of these things that you've already said, so thank you very much. I won't do that. I did prepare something to share with you. But first of all, I want to thank Jesus, my Lord, for blessing and guiding me for 53 years of working for the Brentwood Union School District and serving the beautiful community of Brentwood. One does not accomplish the results that I've been credited with without the help and support of so many good people here in the city of Brentwood. Some of you are here tonight, and I appreciate that you're here. I love you very much. You know where you are, you know who you are, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. In 1971, then Superintendent Bill Bristow hired me. And I'm so thankful that he trusted me to be the director of the Title VII bilingual program and also to be a fourth grade teacher. Like I think Mary said that Bill always had many tasks. He squeezed the turnip, didn't he? He really did. He really did. And so I became the director of the bilingual program, and I became the fourth grade teacher. And so my wife, sweet Jenny, there she is. My son, Ike Jr., and my daughter, Mimi. We moved to the beautiful city of Brentwood, population 3,469. That fourth grade class, that very first fourth grade class, 1971-72, was like no other fourth grade class that I had ever taught. And I had already taught 9 years before that. It truly was Project Amigos, Project Friends. And the lessons that I learned, to see the students learning side by side, learning Spanish, speaking Spanish, the Spanish speakers learning English, the English speakers learning Spanish. It was such a beautiful thing to see. Well, that set a pattern for me in the years to come, for all the other classes that followed. I'm proud to say that all my students are my amigos. After a few years, Mr. Bristow began to give me responsibilities as acting principal. And he encouraged me to complete my credentials, my administrative and supervision credentials that have already been mentioned. So after I did that, he promoted me to full-time principal. Now, I would like the 4th grade class of 1971-72, if you're here, please stand up and wave at me. After Mr. Bristow, it was my privilege to serve under Doug Adams. When I retired, Mr. Adams convinced me to run for the Brentwood Union School District Board. And there were two openings at that time. Emil Geddes, myself, and a third person. We filed papers for those two positions. Now, I had never participated in political campaigns or anything. I didn't know where to start. But like I mentioned earlier, you always have people that support you and help you. And sure enough, some good people came to my aid. There was a coffee night with the candidates that was hosted by Ron and Shirley Nunn. Where are you? They're here somewhere. This coffee time with the candidates at a very popular gathering place, Cafe Baccio. How many remember Cafe Baccio? Okay. So that was a start. So after that, then Emil and I, we happened to be there, just the two of us. We shared our vision, how we would serve the education community in Brentwood. Well, there's more to campaigns than just having coffee and talking with people. So this teacher, her name is Patty Bristow. Where's Patty Bristow? Patty Bristow. She said, Ike, you need signs. What? Signs? You know, the kind you place in people's front yards. Oh. She says, listen to this, I know a printer. She's real well connected. I know that this printer, he does a good job, and he'll give you a good deal. And sure enough, she went about her business, and she got these nice signs put together that simply said, elect Ike Montañez for Brentwood School Board. Nice white background, nice big blue letters. It was a really nice job done. In fact, I still have one of those in my garage. I have nailed to remind me of that adventure. So anyway, needless to say, Emil and I were elected. I served 5 years. Emil Geddes is still serving. 29 years later. In the following years, I served several nonprofit organizations. And the only reason I'm going to mention them tonight is because I want to encourage many of you to volunteer and support support those organizations. The VCRC, the Village Community Resource Center, tutors and mentors students after school, helping them with homework, etc. A Place of Learning is another after-school program that helps students improve their schoolwork. ODAC, the One Day at a Time program. Mr. Rodriguez, director, sit up here. We've worked together for well over 20 years. The One Day at a Time program works with youth by providing support and opportunities to help them realize their strengths. Shepherd's Gate, the women's shelter serving women and their children in crisis. They have been in Brentwood for over 20 years. They continue to have many needs, so please visit their webpage. The Brentwood Community Chest, I've been with them for several years. This is a program that, especially during the Christmas time, they distribute boxes of food and toys for the children. So they need a lot of volunteers. They need volunteers to register people for the program. They need people to put the boxes together that we can distribute on a certain day. And then we need, on that day, we need people to help distribute the food and the toys. Make sure that they get to the right families that signed up for the program. My family is my strength. My wife of 61 years, Sweet Jeannie, has been by my right hand through it all. My son Ike and daughter Mimi, giving so much love and respect to their dad, fills my heart with joy. I'm so blessed. I'm also blessed tonight to have not only my children, my grandchildren, and great-grandchildren here to help celebrate this dedication. Excuse me. All right. I don't know if it's my 88 years, but I get really emotional about this. I also want to acknowledge some of my extended family. I want to let you know that there's one person here that came from out of the country, all the way from Japan, and I want Sam to stand up. I told Sam about it almost a year ago. He said, I'm going to go out and buy my ticket right now. And he did do that. I have others that came from out of the state. I want to recognize them also. And that would be my cousin Anna Rodriguez Walker. From Payson, Arizona. Somebody knows about Payson. And my cousin Michael Montañez from Tempe, Arizona. Michael? Many others that came from Southern and Northern California. I love you all. Thank you for being here tonight. In closing, it is my hope and prayer that this school will always be a safe and secure learning environment for all our students, where your children will look forward to coming to school every day. We are very fortunate in having an excellent staff and a wonderful leader in Dr. Danielle Dalton. I want to thank the current school board, Dana Eaton, and the committee members who selected me for this great honor. I'm truly humbled by this whole experience. And a big thank you to all of you that are here for being here tonight to help in this celebration and this dedication. God bless.
That is a tough speech to follow. I just want to have some quick closing remarks, and then we'll get to truly celebrate one-on-one and in small groups. First of all, when you leave today, there's going to be a reception area set up outside. For those of you that haven't been in schools in a couple of years, it's different now in the food services program, so a change came that now all of our students in every school can eat breakfast and lunch for free, and as a result, we have many more resources, lots more fresh food, and we actually have chefs and cooks. And so I want to thank especially Kristen and Adrian and Kelly who've been working all day. So everything that you eat here was prepared here. So there'll be some really great things. I also want to thank Overa and the Coming Group for sponsoring the food today. So let's thank them. Go outside in the area. There's some information up. You see some fun old newspaper articles that are there and some pictures if you didn't catch them before. There's also a professionally published biography about Isaac R. Montañez. One of the things that we've been trying to do is capture the history of all of the people that our board has chosen to name buildings and schools after. And so you can find those on our webpage. And later when we hang Ike's portrait in the school, there'll be a QR code underneath so students forevermore can scan that QR code and read about him instantly. So that'll be a great thing. I also don't want you to forget that we have many, many eager 4th and 5th graders out there that want to tour the school with you. So please take them up on that opportunity. They all put on their outfits and they practice touring, so they want to do a great job for you. I'm going to say one more thing, and then we're going to do a quick ribbon cutting on stage. And so I just want to thank the community. I feel so much joy for being able to be part of this community, and a community that realizes that the stronger that our schools are, the stronger that our community is. So thank you so much for being here. And we're going to start the ribbon cutting. So Ms. Clevin, if you come on out. See how what she just saved there?